Hey everybody, Matt and
Danielle
back with you, and today we are in Otley town centre, currently in the churchyard of Otley Church, and we're in the very old cemetery. It's a fascinating cemetery, and we will film a little bit of it whilst we're here to bring you our story. It's a bit tricky to film this one because we're talking about Bramhope Tunnel, which is a 2-mile tunnel which is on the Leeds to Thirsk line. That's what it was originally built for back in 1845. Yeah, a 2-mile tunnel back then without machinery, so instead it had to be built by hand and using things like gunpowder to blow the rock away. However, during the building of it, it was built by what we call navvies, which is short for navigators, and they were usually people like Irish immigrants or people just kind of drifting through life who came to live in little shanty towns near where the work was going on. But these places were very poor, and they were rife with disease and fighting and violence and drinking. That's the kind of people they were. And unfortunately, Bramhope Tunnel saw many deaths. So Bramhope Tunnel took 4 years to build altogether, 1845 to 1849. At the time it was one of the most ambitious engineering projects ever, especially as it was being built by hand. I don't know quite how many thousands of people were probably working on it, but there would be a lot. And if you see a picture of the tunnel itself, it has the most ornate entranceways at the south and north portal. Now unfortunately, well not unfortunately, the train line does still exist, and because of that we can't go near it to bring you pictures of what it looks like today. So I'll put some pictures on, but you'll see what I mean about it being a wonderful feat of engineering. So the navvies were said to work 12 hours a day, which is quite a long shift, and often it was noted that it seemed like they had superhuman endurance. But at the same time, as mentioned about the endurance for working, you've also then got probably the next 12 hours of heavy drinking and fighting. And that's just how it was. And we've covered stories before. Dawson City, for example, in Heptonstall, building the reservoirs up there of little shanty towns. Dawson City was a shanty town, for example. And when these places arrived, it seemed to bring trouble to the local community. Now, as mentioned, 23 navvies died altogether building Bramhope Tunnel over the 4-year period. And at one point there was once a collapse and 4 people died at once. And the navvies were actually quite superstitious, and they actually said they needed to get a priest in because they believed that section of the tunnel that had collapsed must have been cursed. But sadly all sorts of things happened to the people who did die in there. Asphyxiation, remember the 2 miles underground. It was prone to flooding, and if that water got in, if you're 2 miles underground, you're not going to get out. And then gunpowder, the dynamite itself. They were using dynamite, gunpowder, to explode rock to get further in. And of course what's happening is sometimes it sets off early, they can't get far enough away, or the gunpowder itself would blow the rock so far out they were being hit by pieces of rock. It's incredible to think 200 years ago this is how people were working. I'm quite glad that my job is bringing you videos like this. It's much safer. But of course, all 23 were kind of unknown, no families or anything like that, and were buried in paupers' graves. And this was eventually recognised as being a bit of a miscarriage of justice for those who died there. And here in Otley Centre, there is a tribute to those people who passed away. It's a memorial, and it is actually built to look like Bramhope Tunnel. We're impressed with this tree, aren't we?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Yeah, wow. Just be able to see the church through the leaves as well. Yeah, that's an incredible trip.
I want a tree this epic.
Well, we've planted one now.
Yeah, when I'm still alive in 300 years.
300 years.
I'll have what I wanted.
You have to be alive in 300 years.
I will be.
You have to be carrying on this channel.
I'll have a different format by then. I'm gaining its knowledge.
What has it seen?
Everything.
So, unfortunately, it is closed. I'm guessing it's probably always closed off to keep it safe. But this is the memorial right here. It is quite big, but that is as close as we can get. Now, this is what the tunnel itself looks like. It's quite impressive. And yeah, you can read what that says. They had to cut 25 feet high tunnel through 2 miles of rock. Wow. Oh, 2,300 navvies. So I wasn't far off. Did I say 3,000? Yeah, wow. Amazing. Yeah, so sadly we can't get any nearer. We're not quite sure quite when the memorial itself was built, but the oldest date on there is 1913, so it possibly arrived about then, but I might be wrong with that. However, we can see what's written on it, so I'll show you that. So it probably won't come out because of the shadow and because of the railings. I can't get any nearer to it, but it says in memory of the unfortunate men who lost their lives while engaged in the construction of the Bramhope Tunnel, the Leeds and Thirsk Railway, 1845 to 1849. Tomb is erected as a memorial, and then there's like a poem underneath it as well. One known victim of Bramhope Tunnel is a 22-year-old called James Myers. He died in an accident in the tunnel on April 14th, 1848. He's buried in Eden Cemetery alongside his 3-year-old daughter, who passed just shortly after he did. So it is a place of sadness and tragedy, but it is a fairly impressive memorial. So there we go, just short and sweet this one, but just a look at the Bramhope Memorial and the Bramhope Tunnel story, and rest in peace to all those who lost their lives over the 4 years of working there. Tough times, really tough times. We can't possibly fathom out exactly what it must have been like to work back then. But that's it. We will see you very soon for the next video. Do remember, if you get chance, we now have official Dark Side merchandise on our T-Mill shop. See the link below. Or just like, share, comment and subscribe and all the usual good stuff, and we will see you very soon. Take care.